Last week, we discussed how Twitch could possibly ban you for a litany of reasons. And some of them seem kind of small and some of them seem kind of big, but this is nowhere near the magnitude of how YouTube swings its ban hammer and decides to terminate accounts. So we're going to do a deep dive on how YouTube is going to terminate you.
All right. And with that being said, if you like our content or our content has previously helped you or what you're watching now is going to help you, go ahead and you can support this channel by checking out Restream, and that is at livestreamatech.com/Restream. It is absolutely free to try out, and there's no 1 week or 2 weeks. You can try it out for free, the basic freebie plan for infinite. But then again, you have upgrades and all sorts of bells and whistles at different pay tiers or whatever. But just check out the free thing, and it helps support this channel. Also, if you don't want to do that, at least click the like or hit that subscribe button or leave some comments down below. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's talk about what is going to get you terminated on YouTube. We, like Dale was saying, we were talking about Twitch or whatever. So we're going to find that there's some overlapping rules here on YouTube as there were on Twitch. So the first one, let's get it out of the way because it's the boring stuff, and that is copyright. That's right. It's probably a lot more, Dale, wouldn't you agree? 100% more strict on YouTube than it is on Twitch when it comes to copyright.
Oh yeah, they got a jump on this a long time ago. DMCA takedown notices were just flying out years before Twitch ever did anything. And it is to the point here. In fact, we have a membership with a company called Storyblocks. And with Storyblocks, we're allowed to have, different video, audio, and images that we can use. Now, the big issue is we would use a specific audio track that we would put on our countdown timer. And every time we would get a copyright claim. Now, that's not a copyright strike. Copyright claims means they're just going to come in and start taking our AdSense on that given video. With copyright strikes, though, that means that you're going to be in some real trouble. And I'm sure Walt's going to get into this in just a second.
Let me dive a little bit deeper into that. So a lot of people like to sit there and think, well, music, they think of copyright as far as music. Now, that's not the case. For instance, you could copy this video right now or live stream right now, re-upload it on your channel, and that is going to get you a copyright strike. So because the fact that you don't own that material, Dale and I created this material, therefore we own the right to that material. Now, that's not to say that, and this goes by case. So you have to be careful on this, that you could actually take, say, snippets of this video and do some sort of commentary or news or even like a parody, whatnot. But then again, like I said, you're treading on dangerous ground, especially when there's a lot more people that are a little bit more tight when it comes to how they feel that their material should be used. Where versus Dale and I are probably a little bit more loose. Like, hey, if somebody wants to throw it up there to comment or make fun of us or poke fun of us or whatever, whatever. That's their right and that's their opinion. So just remember, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, because I know a lot of people out there, a lot of streamers, matter of fact, they go, oh, well, I'm doing commentary, so they can't strike my channel. Yeah, they can, and it's a pain in the butt. And here's the thing. If you get 3 strikes within a 90-day period, that's it. Your channel is gone. Your account is gone. YouTube says sayonara, and there will be no I'm coming back or I'll be back. I've messed that one up.
Yeah, it can be a scary situation. I know there was a YouTuber once, I'm trying to think of the actual channel, but he did commentary on another person's video, and that person didn't like that. They kind of drew umbrage to that. And sure, the original poster could probably be in the right, but here's the deal. Fair use is never a good defense. You can't just go to YouTube and go, well, it's fair use, because at the end of the day, the person who owns the intellectual property, otherwise known as IP, they have every reason to go ahead and file a copyright strike. Now, with that being said, some creators are a little bit more forgiving. If it kind of goes through, like, say, for instance, I see someone uploaded my video and they didn't have any kind of links going out. So they must have been like, oh, I like this video, I'm going to go ahead and share it. I'm kind of like, that's cool. I'll give them a general takedown notice, meaning that they're not going to get a strike. They're going to get kind of like a, hey, just a heads up, you stole someone's stuff.
Tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, you got to get it down in the next 7 days. Otherwise, we're just going to remove it for you. So there are some good people out there willing to work with it, but what I'd recommend is to err on the side of caution. Watch one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Ian Corzine. He's your social media lawyer. That's his actual thing. And he talks a lot about fair use and how that it's not always a static thing. It's not always solid.
Not black and white.
It really isn't. And so let's transition over to the next point here. And that's going to be sensitive content. So if there's anything like suicide or self-harm, any type of nudity or sexual content, and even one that, oh my gosh, this one, don't even play around with this, child safety. So if you're endangering their physical or their mental well-being of a minor, oh, goodbye. And sometimes in instances like that, I've heard that people violated that rule. There was no 3 strikes, you're out. It's you're out. It's instantly gone. Excessive profanity, believe it or not, that sounds kind of crazy. You would think with like channels like Kali Muscle, who like drops the F-bomb every other word.
Yeah, I love me some Kali Muscle.
But I have a feeling that given the opportunity, much like how, Dr. Disrespect, how he was treading on thin ice for the longest time on Twitch, and then out of the blue, they're like, you're out of here. And everybody's kind of going, why? And it was like, pretty much people can kind of speculate. It was so many things stacked against him that eventually it was too much. So don't put yourself in that position by dropping an F-bomb every other word. This not only includes video content, but also thumbnails and descriptions from all of that list that we've mentioned before. You don't want to play around with fire. And the good reason why I try to steer clear of cursing anyways is if you would like to make any type of revenue through things like Google AdSense and the YouTube Partner Program, putting expletives in your videos is a good way to kind of say, I don't like money.
Pretty much. So let's talk about money, jumping into the next topic, and that is spam or deceptive practices. That's right. It's kind of, once again, I get the boring ones. I had the copyright one, and I get this one because these are kind of no-brainers, but let's talk about what is kind of scammy or spammy and whatnot. And once again, it kind of ties into what we covered on Twitch last week, which was impersonations. And that doesn't mean I'm coming on and creating content pretending to be Matthew McConaughey. It's me pretending maybe to be handicapped or blind or something that's wrong with me that is not necessarily wrong with me. In other words, maybe I'm playing on the heartstrings on my viewers to where they're like, oh, you got to check out this guy. He's really good. He's blind, but yet he's amazing at playing Fortnite. I don't know how he does it, but he's blind and he plays Fortnite really good. So that's the thing, so it's not always about the, oh, hey, I have something to sell you type scam. It's scamming the viewer per se, pretending to be somebody or something you're not. Now, once again, if it's in parody and the viewer is kind of well made aware of that, the fact that you're really over the top with some sort of impersonation or whatnot, then you're probably going to slide by. But once again, it's kind of like the excessive profanity. It's like you really got to watch. You got to step on that ground really lightly when it comes to working on that. Here's the one that really popped out into me. And I didn't think that it was an issue, Dale. Do you remember this when the playlists first came out and people would put the first couple videos? So say, for instance, I was wanting to learn how to change a car battery, right? And they might have a playlist of, how to change a car battery, how to check to see if a dead battery. But then the 12 videos after that were like country music videos. So yeah, actually, believe it or not, that is considered a scam. So when you create a playlist, so Dale and I, we love playlists on this channel. So for instance, we'll put all our YouTube stuff on one playlist and all our Facebook stuff on another playlist. So try to not be, deceptive where you're like, oh, the first couple videos is about what the playlist is marked as, but then everything else beyond that. So in other words, you're trying to cheat the watch time. You're trying to rake in that AdSense or whatever with, because you're assuming that they're going to walk away or fall asleep watching your videos. Just be careful with that.
Yeah. The one thing that you kind of brushed over was the external links. And I've actually had a few peers within the industry that has affected them directly. Let me share just a kind of a story here. The very first one comes from a gentleman. His name was J. Bruce Jones. And Bruce was a fantastic guy. He taught me a lot about the self-publishing business. He grew a pretty substantial following, I think over 10,000 subscribers. I love this stuff, always look forward to it. And one day, he's gone, just gone. And a couple of years later, I reached out to him and I said, what happened? And he said, well, they didn't like me sending people off platform. That's the thing is, you can put links in your descriptions and in your videos and in your end screens. However, be careful about it, because every now and then, if they view the link that you're using as deceptive or misleading and drawing people off platform, they're going to come in and shut you down. And that's what they did with Bruce. What they ended up doing was saying they smacked his hand, and this is all the same day, smacked his hand. He goes, oh, okay. So he went through, painstakingly removed all those external links. So there was nothing going off platform. And then he gets a second and a third email. And on the third email, they're like, you're done. And he's like, I didn't even have a chance to fix it all. Like, what? Yeah. So that's the thing. And then let's go over to somebody else who actually is a big expert in this space, Brian G. Johnson. By the way, highly recommend, if you want to take your business to the next level on YouTube, follow Brian G. Johnson TV. Brian had the same thing happen to him. But the nice thing is he was able to reach out to their team and pretty much exonerate his name, because he wasn't sending people off platform to, like, say, adult sites. We're going to go ahead and put it that way, or scammy type things. Yeah. He was just sending them over to like his email newsletter or his website, things like that, that were fairly innocuous, but for whatever reason, it created a false positive, like what it did for Bruce Jones. So just be careful about links, folks. And if you're going to drive people off platform, do it with the intent that, first of all, A, you're not going to be tricking people, and B, do it with the intent that, like, it better make you some money. It better make you some money in a good way. So for instance, I'm going to plug one of my books, in any of my live streams. I'll be like, hey, here's my book. Go ahead, check it out. I have no qualms on that, but I'm not going to be like, go check out this article over on XYZ site that I've never even heard of and I don't even know them. I'm not going to send people over to a website that I don't know anything about, much less am associated directly to. So sorry, I had to kind of hit the external links.
You're right. You're right. I actually skipped over that. I'm glad you covered that.
I think, it's funny. We have our bullet points already set out, but I think this one, you unearthed something that I never knew about. So I'm literally going to hand the ball off to you on this very next point, even though it's mine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's inactivity. So I can actually relate
inactivity.
To this one.
What?
I know. Yes. Yes. YouTube will terminate you, or I should say your account or your channel due to inactivity. So we're talking 6 months. We're not talking 3 years, 4 years. We're talking 6 months. YouTube basically says we have the right to come take your channel if you do not do these things. So one is not logging into the site for at least 6 months. So that's just plainly not just coming to YouTube, logging in through whatever account that you have set up. And the reason why I said this kind of relates to me is because I have several YouTube accounts, just like we have several Twitch accounts, so on and so forth, in social media. So never having uploaded content. Okay, well, obviously I covered that one. I've uploaded content, but here's the thing. Here's the fine gray area. Is that the 6 months? Do they give me it? And I'm assuming they would probably let that slide, because I've seen some pretty old content, and I've seen some channels out there that haven't uploaded stuff in the past year, and their stuff is still sitting there. So we'll probably say that they'll probably let you slide on that one. And then the other one is not actively partaking in watching or commenting on videos or channels on YouTube via that account as well. And once again, this is that 6 months time frame. So if you pretty much do one of those, whether it's upload, log in, watch something, or comment on something, then you're pretty much going to be safe as far as keeping that account active. Which reminds me, I have to go over after probably this live stream, log into my other account and watch a video and comment on it, just so they can keep all that material from getting pulled down.
It happens. If you're a YouTuber and you have your own channel, you might have noticed every now and then that there will be a purge that happens. You'll go into negative subscribers in some instances, or you see a drop all of a sudden in the subscribers that you would normally get every day. So let's say you're averaging 30 subscribers per day, and all of a sudden it's at 2. then there's a good chance that what ended up happening is YouTube went through and cleaned out your subscriber base, those subscribers that are inactive, those that aren't watching. And some people, like, they freak out. They're like, oh my gosh, they're destroying my channel. No, they're destroying other people's channels is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're helping you out, because to be honest with you, inactive subscribers don't do anything for you. If they're not watching, they're not commenting, guess what?
If anything, it hurts you when you look at those analytics. And this has only 5% of your subscribers are watching your content.
So I'll get this very next point. I know I was going to probably get to it in just a second here. Violent or hateful content. Okay. It's self-explanatory. Okay. If you're part of anything that, promotes violence, or you have hate to any age, disability, ethnicity, gender, or religion, they're going to tell you to get. And it's happened time and time and time again. Don't try to push your luck. If you want to do that, go find a social media platform that allows for something like that. But YouTube does not. They're very tight about it. And if you try to test them, get on out of here. And I think with the violent and hateful content, we can also put in things like bullying. They are really anti-bullying. Like, if you go in there, and I would recommend, even as a streamer, every now and then you'll have some trolls that will pop up. I would recommend filter yourself. Get it to where you understand, like, hey, look, just because they're coming in here and spewing hate on you doesn't mean you have to respond in kind. Ban them and move on, because there's much better people on the platform. Because what could happen is you could dig yourself into a hole, and now there's video proof of you pushing back on somebody, and it can be taken out of context. And at that point, YouTube comes in and slaps you straight off their platform.
Yeah, where most of the time those trolls and bullies or whatever, they have nothing to lose. They've created this account with no uploads. They're just going from video to video, live stream to live stream, just to do what Dale said, is basically ruffle your feathers and get a rise out of you. And like I said, you as a live streamer or a content creator have more to lose than that person that's coming in and trolling you. So the best thing to do is ban them, ignore them, and move on.
Well, this next point here, I had to hand it off to you, because I feel like you can speak from a position of understanding this here.
you make it sound like I have a closet full of firearms. Okay,
right.
So the next one is firearms. So there's that old, like urban legend now out there that is like, oh, if you have any firearm channel, there's no way that you're going to be able to monetize it. There's no way that YouTube's going to let you have it. Now, here's the thing. This is where you have to dance around it. And what YouTube doesn't want you to do is the intention of selling firearms, teaching how to create them, modify them, or make accessories for them. So in other words, you can create content about firearms. Now, here's the catch. You cannot live stream. I repeat, you cannot live stream holding a firearm, transporting a firearm, or any of basically what I just listed above there. So if you have any kind of firearm, I would say, even if you have like an old-timey rifle hanging behind you during a live stream, take it down, take it out of the thing, hang freaking feathers in. I don't care. The thing is when you're doing a live stream, don't have any kind of firearms or anything that even falsely represents a firearm. So in other words, it might be a fake, it might be a model, it might be a squirt gun, it might be a Nerf gun that's painted to look real. Just don't do it, because YouTube will terminate you. And it's one of those instant ones, like Dale was saying with the child endangerment. They're not even going to wait for 3 strikes on that type of stuff. They're just going to hit your channel and take you down. And that the other thing too is that can actually endanger you and the community around you, because somebody could be watching that live stream. Maybe YouTube doesn't catch you, but somebody just pops in your live stream and you're, I don't know, in your backyard or whatever, showing how to load a magazine into your gun. They see that, they call 911. Next thing you know, you have the SWAT, everything else, and that's no good for you and the community around you, and also the officers are responding to that situation. So just don't do it.
Because we're both overachievers, we like to give you guys just a little bit of what we like to call, you ready for this, dude?
Ready?
Bonus!
Wow, you peaked the microphone.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, that was hot. That was hot. Yeah.
Hot mess. Okay, so this one is, I'm going to cover this one, Dale.
Yep.
So misinformation, and by all means, Dale, you can cut me off if I kind of go a little bit long on this one. So the newest crackdown is misinformation. Now you're probably sitting there wondering, well, what's Walt talking about? Without me going too deep into the weeds, we're talking about is backyard researchers and armchair scientists. Do not apply. You should not apply yourself to these situations. So, for instance, let the researchers be researchers and let the scientists be scientists. Now, you can say, read a research article or whatever and give your opinion on it, but you can't sit there and go, oh, well, I did my research, and if you eat a jar of pickles a day, it'll make you an inch taller. That's misinformation, and that's what YouTube is cracking down on. Now, obviously, the whole pickle thing, is me just being goofy. So there's stuff out there that now is going to get your channel taken down. It's a 3-strike rule. It's if you just, it doesn't matter how firmly you believe. Now you can state, hey, this is my opinion and this is how I could speculate. That's not you providing misinformation. That's you saying this is my opinion and this is me speculating. Now, if you sit there and mislead your audience into saying, hey, there's been research, or I've done research and, this and that, and you start spewing a bunch of garbage, then yeah, YouTube's going to shut you down.
Yeah. And here's the thing is they are very much minding what you are uploading and you're putting in for your metadata and your title and your thumbnail. Yes, there's actually AI that actually analyzes every one of your thumbnails. It's pretty interesting. I think it's called Google Cloud Brain or something like that. Get the opportunity. Everyone test out your thumbnails. Go over to that Google Cloud Brain and you'll see how it perceives your thumbnail. But putting those things together, sometimes you don't have to utter a single word in your video for them to say you're doing misinformation. So this is where a lot of people do the clickbait, the bait and switch type titles that will be considered misinformation. So even though you're trying to drive people in maybe to a live stream or a pre-recorded video, it's probably not the smartest idea to do it to where it seems like it's misinforming people. So kind of the same thing of Walt's, eat 500 pickles a day and, stave off prostate cancer or something crazy like
Correct.
that.
That's what they're really starting to crack down.
So just be mindful.
It'd be the what they call fake news, type thing. So just, yeah, exactly. So like I said, if you're going to do any kind of content like that or whatever, just make it clear to your audience that this is your opinion or you're speculating. If you make those types of things clear before and during giving any kind of information that might be deemed misinformation, like stray away from the whole I've done research or I've read on research. Now obviously if you've read research and you have the receipts to back it up, by all means cite those resources.
Cite your sources.
Exactly. So that way then you have that backup and say, oh no YouTube, actually I'm citing this paper or that paper. Now obviously don't cite your neighbor next door, like, oh, well, we're out there drinking Bud Light last night and he told me if you rub grapefruit in your eyes, you have night vision.
Wait, that doesn't work? Hey, folks, that was 5 actually plus a bonus insights onto how YouTube will terminate you. What did you think about it? Was there any point that you weren't aware of? I know for me, I was kind of blown away about the inactivity thing. That's pretty surprising, but in the same instance that measures up. Let us know inside the comments. Now let's go ahead and get into the live question and answer, November 12th, 2021. We of course want to give a big shout out to our boy Jason Stallworth and Mojo Seedlack. Jason said, that's scary. After working so hard to build a channel and audience, most of my product sales come organically through my links in my YouTube videos. Yeah, you should be fine so long as you're not directing them off to some seedy sites. So I think maybe your own website will probably be fine. You're probably going to be good to go. And what I would recommend is be very specific about when you send people off platform. What I would recommend to anybody that's new into this business, it should be your plan. If you're trying to grow on this platform, this is directly from big names like Nick Nemeth, Brian G. Johnson, Roberto Blake, Evan Carmichael, Daryl Leaves. They all say this: send people to another video, because on YouTube, it's all about watch time. The longer you can get people to watch and actually be satisfied with your content, the more likely YouTube's going to serve even more content. If you find that you're stuck in a position that you're not getting any type of growth, you're going to have to take a step back and go, okay, why aren't people watching my content? Why aren't they staying on for long periods of time? Hey, I'm self-aware to know that here on Live Streaming Tech, we got a lot of work to do. You know, same thing goes for my larger channel of Self-Publishing with Dale. It takes a little bit of work. So I'd recommend be very specific about when you send people off platform. And if you can, always send people to another video. So it's kind of like the old Gary Vaynerchuk adage where he says, jab, 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 right hook. That's actually the name of one of his books. And the whole idea is to deliver value, deliver value, deliver value, then go for the sale. So that's why it's just like, if you try to make every single video about sale, 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 after a while, that might end up getting you some hot water. But I've known some people that have gone years doing it without any issues. So don't sweat that too much. Mojo Seedlack said, I use Envanto and I have to get a license for each time I use. Even if I use the same content in multi-videos, I need a new license for each use. Wow, no kidding. Okay, Walt, let's go ahead and take a look at these comments here. And folks, if you're watching this live, please let us know inside the chat. Big shout out to Real Blue Jelly for being first and here. Hopefully you're still hanging out.
All right. So yeah, I'll let you handle chat and I'm going to go ahead and handle these comments. And Dale, by all means, you know the rules. Jump in when you see.
Okay, cool. I'm going to point out to everybody. So it's really simple. So Walt doesn't have to repeat himself. On the right-hand side, you're actually going to see the thumbnail for the video and the thumbnail or the title of the video. On the left-hand side, you'll see the name of the person commenting. So take it away, Walt.
Okay, so this is on the video. Is this $14 Castries microphone hot trash or not? Okay, so this was actually, I think, one of our hot potato not potatoes. So I don't know why we didn't change that title. But anyway, regardless, KJC, our mother, responded, Dale, when chewing the packages open, did you by chance hear your mother telling you not to do that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. If you happen to be watching this, honestly, whenever I'm in work mode, I'm not thinking about you. I hopefully you don't get offended by that.
Okay, this is on Streamlabs OBS Facebook Live settings. No lag, no problem. And this is by Nathan M. When we use Restream to send the live stream to Facebook and YouTube, Facebook has lag and YouTube is synced up. Why is this? It's the same signal from Restream.
Okay. Facebook's trash.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you.
The best way to probably put it is Facebook doesn't have as strong an infrastructure as what YouTube does. That's the bottom line.
As YouTube. We'll simplify that even more. Facebook isn't as good as YouTube, period.
That's it. Yeah. I'm laughing every time because it will always be a problem. And I don't see Facebook fixing it.
It's funny too, because I used to go really in depth when answering these questions. And then Dale finally was like, Walt, just give them the simple answer and move on about your day.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Twitch affiliate tax interview failed again. Q&A replay. All right. So that means somebody's actually watching our Q&A replays. By the way, if you get your questions in before Friday, 11:30? Yeah. You're going to be, you'll make the next week's Q&A. All right. Can you add a timestamp for where the tax stuff is, since that's the title, not all the premiere stuff?
Just say, no. Sure.
I was going to put no. Sure. All right. I guess I got to go through and timestamp
some of these ones. Yeah, it's a little bit of pain. Do it in 2x, man. This is a little bit of a hack I usually do is I'll go 2x, and as I'm kind of talking, I'll put the timestamp and I'll put in like the keyword rich title to get it to where it's searchable and such. But always remember, if you end up doing any type of timestamps on your channel, start out with 0:00, and then you put your timestamps thereafter and such. But yeah, sorry, man. I really probably should have told you to probably put timestamps on those.
Yeah. I typically do it on well, I've been getting kind of lazy with that because YouTube's been doing it for me.
Yeah, maybe it'll come out.
Yeah. Twitch affiliate tax interview. Why you must do it or else.
You don't have to read that, bro. Everybody sees the context on the right.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Yeah, you did state that. My mother doesn't want to give me or give her TIN. Doesn't want.
Sorry to hear that.
Her TIN.
Her tax identification number.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. That's all.
Hang on. Why would you be using your mother's?
In some instances, they can be able to use
Oh,
their
okay.
parents and such. It's just up to the parent.
All right. So
You know.
we'll just do sorry to hear that.
Yep. There's not much you can really do about that. My chat won't reset. Help me!
Hey, yeah, my chat won't reset. Okay, Streamlabs OBS Facebook Live settings 2001. Okay, so that was I would just shut down stream, like make sure it actually shuts down all the way.
Yeah. And then clear the cache. They probably need to clear the cache. I would bet you. So, if any of you folks happen to be wondering, why do we do this question and answer and this live segment and such, and we repurpose it, it's because sometimes people want the goods that they want. And so with this right here, we're going to go ahead and answer this, and we try to pick out some of the most popular things in our little segments here. Eventually the two of us will probably include like a news segment on these shows, but for right now it's just going to be the live question and answer.
Yep. Okay, Clive Stevenson. Okay, this is why do I need to restream to social media accounts? I want to standalone live stream solution. This is worthless if I have to connect to social media accounts. Okay, why? He must have got this all wrong. Why would he?
I wouldn't even worry about it at this point because the widget's no longer available. So at this point, I almost feel like this particular video we might have to actually just take down because it's just no longer, available.
But they said that it may come back one day, right?
Right. Yeah, they said it might come back one day.
Minis.
But as far as adding in those social accounts and such like that, it's because you do have to have something you're broadcasting from. So, but I wouldn't add it to this one. This sounds like someone who's just upset at life. Why do I need to add my social media accounts? Calm down, Clive. Calm down. Calm down.
Yeah,
just add your social account. You'll be fine. No one's going to hack you. And if you don't have social media or any of those things, kudos on you. So I would just recommend just build out the infrastructure yourself and skip restream if it's not good enough for you.
Okay, this one is by J.U. or Jew. My problem is that the name of another person appears. I don't know what to do.
Contact Twitch support. That sounds weird.
Yeah. Are you using autofill?
Yeah, that could probably be it.
Yeah, I don't.
I would just say just simple. Just contact Twitch support because at this point, like honestly, I don't even know if it's autofill if it's already popping up with somebody else's name.
But you would still have to put that name in, wouldn't you? Oh, so like the Twitch, like when it was made or whatever, it was made under someone's name.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? That sounds like a real big glitch right there, and it's nothing that we're going to be able to cover.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So that's
all the comments.
All right, give out the warning. We're gonna look at the held for review.
Held for review.
Anything there? All right.
Yep. So, it gets ugly, folks. Parental guidance is suggested. So children, cover your ears. Parents, be mindful.
None. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Good stuff. Jump out of that screen share, and we'll start to wrap up today's broadcast. Okay, folks, this has been fantastic. We really appreciate you taking a little bit of time out your day to spend a little bit of time with us. Just to kind of give you a heads up, this very next week, we actually will be back in to chat just a little bit more about, give me just a second. I forgot we're going to talk about Elgato products. Don't buy Elgato products till you watch this. Look, I'm a huge Elgato fan, but I'm going to be able to tell you the pros and cons of each one of these things that I've bought. And I know that Walt's actually got a handful of Elgato products as well. We're going to do a deep dive into it and how it affects your live streaming experience. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit the thumbs up as per usual. And Walt, what video are they going to check out?
This one right here that I'm holding right here.
And if you haven't already subscribe by tapping my head right here. Folks, take care of yourselves. We appreciate the support.